Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Star vs. Force Feeble, and Samurai Jack, among others. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And Sam Quattro.
Hello.
Today, Delaney, Sam, and I will be discussing the Wednesday episode of this week's Steven Bomb. I don't know, what is this even called? The mid-May, beginning of May bomb? Anyway, The Good Lars is the one episode we're going to be discussing
The
here.
bath bomb.
The bath bomb?
The bath bomb.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just testing The Good Lars here. Again, I don't know about the episode title, but...
It's like The Good Wife.
Or like, yeah. Is that what we're referencing? Not
Probably
clear.
not. I just looked up what The Good Wife was, and it doesn't seem to have anything to do with this.
It's a show, yeah.
That was great, Sam. Okay. Thanks.
So we're talking about The Good Lars. We're covering this Steven Bomb every day here in the Overly Animated Podcast. You can check us out at overlyanimated.com or on iTunes at overlyanimated.com/iTunes, or search for us on your favorite podcatcher or podcasting app. Check out our previous week's podcasts on the website. We are going to get into The Good Lars spoilers for this episode, but not other episodes, for not the tomorrow's finale episodes. So let's get into this. Delaney, your favorite Lars-centric episode. What were your thoughts?
Okay. Not my fave, but
Really?
I did like the episode. No, I did. I like the other Lars episode better than this one.
There's multiple
even
Lars
though-
episodes, I would
that's
say.
fair.
But
I think there's too many, to be honest.
Like, I thought this was a good episode. I liked it a lot more until we got to the end. Like, when we get, like, I don't know, like, so I'm spoiled for the finale,
Yeah.
which is why I'll talk about that later, I guess.
Mhm.
But, that's why, and, like, now I feel a little bit different about it because, like, stuff happens. But, like, I like the episode. I really like the episode up until really, like, until, like, he doesn't show up and, like, it's in the trash. And I was like, will you punk? And,
You punk.
and like, it was really, I don't know, like, it was I thought it was kind of a weird episode. I liked kind of this, it's a Lars episode, but we spent most of the episode without Lars and, like, looking for him, which I thought was interesting. Like, it was just an interesting, like, narrative thing. I don't know, it was an odd episode. Like, the baking thing's really cool. I like that, like, Lars likes to bake. Makes sense. He works at a donut shop. And I liked Sadie hanging out with, like, other people her age, because it's literally just Lars and, like, Steven, who is not her age, and he's just a child. But I don't know. I like the episode. I just liked it up until, like, you find, like, Lars isn't showing up.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. I have conflicting feelings because of other things.
We'll discuss. Sam, what are your thoughts on this?
I actually like this a lot better than the other Lars episodes. I don't know why. Maybe because Lars wasn't really in it.
That might be the case.
So much Lars hate already, jeez.
It's not that I like hate him. I just don't really find him too compelling. Like, he doesn't really grow too much as a character for me. But there was a point tonight, whenever, when Steven was, like, giving, like, his little speech to Lars, and I felt like, wow, maybe Lars will actually take this to heart and everything will be okay. But no.
Maybe. Yeah, good episode. Yay, Lars. The Good Lars. Good episode. I agree with Delaney. It gets worse at the end. This is actually an episode that suffers by bringing in the plot. Or,
right.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. Steven has this. Sometimes it feels incongruous. Like, we're focusing on something specific. It's working, and then, we're going to shove in a hook to the next episode.
The plot fit in really weird. Like,
I disagree.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought it fit in pretty well. I thought, the whole Lars sort of, like, seeming Lars, like, dishing thing, like, it felt like in character, and I felt like that whole, I don't know, it felt like it fit in. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, we get some ambiguity at the end on how much what Lars is like. Is Lars missing? Did he intentionally not show up? Steven's, again, much like the end of last episode, Steven's under the impression of one thing, and the audience is kind of questioning that. It's Lars, Steven thinking that Lars didn't show up, but I don't know why he abandoned his search. Like, just just because he saw the
like he's a teen.
He's still not at home. Like, anyway.
Yeah, no, it's really weird. Like, where did he go?
Yeah. See,
Like,
where did Steven think he went? Yeah, but I really enjoyed at least the first 2/3, and the last third was also fine. I do think this actually, really weird for me to say this, but I think this would have worked better as just a straight Bordy episode. No, like no plot attached. This like this is like a really good execution of such a character focused like Lars and Sadie episode. Why not have this in the time period where we have nothing to do with anything, episodes that are completely inconsequential, and have like a worse one here that's propped up because of the plot associations. But this is actually a good episode that is, I feel like, it's a little dumbed down by the ambiguity at the end. Like, I think we'll see if we revisit the themes here, but it's not something that is going to be, Steven Universe doesn't resolve its character specific episodes in later episodes, so I don't know why this would be brought back. But regardless, I really enjoyed the character stuff we got into with Lars. He's still super annoying, but in like a way that we understand. Once we've gotten past he's just like a jerk, and into like he's
not a punk, he's a dork.
He's like, yeah, he's
insecure.
Yeah, right. And there's just enough of like him not being a jerk, and also we brought in the Sadie factor, and it paid off in one line that was fabulous and like the best line ever. I don't know why they're not just like, where's the Lars Sadie PDA? I mean, come on. Where is it? Where's the shipping? Like, they're together. Let's pay this off more. But at least we had one line, and it was great. And it's like, I think that this is arguably one of Lars's best character episodes. I mean, nothing's ever going to compare to our wonderful last summer Lars episode. But that was.
You don't even remember the episode's
the
name.
new Lars. So that was okay. That's why this is called the good Lars. That's the new.
Oh my
Lars.
God, that's so dumb.
Lars, so. They're even naming convention with the Lars episodes, and that episode was better, but it was like great overall. This had like potentially even better Lars character moments. That episode did too. Between these two episodes, Lars is one of the show's best characters, like most developed. Outside of the main cast, like I don't think Lars deserved to be focused this much on, but now that we're here, we know more about Lars and his like emotional state and his like mental state and his surrounding life circumstances than really any other side character, I would say.
Well, no, I would say, like, granted, this is a consequence of how the show, because everything is like really more like focused on Lars, which I think is a mistake, but I mean, Lars and Sadie are like the side characters.
Yeah, they're clearly the most important of the two. It's interesting. Yeah, I think the question with this episode is why focus everything that happens on Lars. Sadie is very much more present in this episode, and almost everything she has to say, with the exception of one scene at the end, which is really good, has to do with Lars. So, like,
right.
Are we like doing wrong by Sadie and Sadie's character by just having her only talk about Lars, much like her character throughout the entire show? I feel like that's
right.
a good question.
Well, it's like the Sadie episode I love that episode.
Yeah,
like that was awesome. Like Sadie's song, that's so great.
That episode's great, and we get a follow-up to it here, which I loved. One of the best parts of the episode, for sure.
Yeah, and I do think focusing on Lars has hurt Sadie's character, and honestly reflects very poorly on the show, considering, like, we have all these very standout, very characterized, we have such a variety of female characters, and then to have Sadie, who's literally almost her entire characterization is based around Lars.
Yeah, there's no real reason to. I don't really understand why Lars is a bigger character than Sadie. He definitely has been on the show. Like, it's been like Sadie's song was a while ago, and we've had multiple Lars episodes since. This episode does. I would say this counts as both a Lars and a Sadie episode, because Sadie is on screen a lot, and she at the very least gets one scene of her own that her singing, which follows up on Sadie's song, which I really enjoyed.
And maybe we'll see her hanging out with Buck and them.
Yeah, maybe we're gonna go down that route too. But it's not clear. I'm trying to understand why they would focus on Lars more. They feel like the angst teen boy perspective is something that's not hit on whereas the show has enough of a female perspective. I don't know. Like, why?
I don't know. I feel like maybe in like them sort of establishing Lars as like the sort of like jerk, they felt like maybe like the wraparound, like trying to figure out why he's a jerk, trying to get him to like, you know, turn over a new leaf was more interesting and more compelling than Sadie's just like, hey, Steven, like that's like her whole like character. She's just sort of like a two-dimensional like person who doesn't like, obviously we had Sadie's song, but like, I don't know. I don't feel like she really has too much else going on.
I think that's
outwardly
not
that they can like give us. I don't know. Yeah,
look, Sadie. I mean, Lars and Sadie are literally like they have the same problems, and that's why I don't understand why they focus on Lars. Like Sadie's insecure. Her mom's crazy. I love her mom, but like she's crazy, and like she has the exact same problems Lars does, and yet we focus on Lars so much. The only difference is that Sadie isn't like a troublemaker the way Lars is.
It's the patriarchy.
Okay, that's the conclusion, yeah.
We're never going to escape it.
I feel like if any show has escaped it, it's this show.
Right. There's literally not one. Like,
yeah.
That's why we gotta shove it in where we can.
I guess so. Yeah, I understand Sam's point in that Lars is like, I agree Lars and Sadie have the same insecurity.
The difference
problems.
is Lars is like he's a jerk, and they've characterized him as he's outspoken, he's obnoxious. Meanwhile, Sadie's character, like she's just not as like obnoxious as Lars is, which that's not fair to her character. Like they characterized her that way, and we can explore a quiet character.
Yeah, the problem is that we just haven't explored her enough to know what the second aspect of her that's prominent is. Like, we just haven't done it. So maybe there is something that could be more compelling than Lars is a jerk on the outside, but he's nice on the inside. Like, maybe there's something better than that. We just haven't really gotten that from Sadie. Like, the reason that she's kind of, she potentially is not as compelling of Lars is because, like, they just haven't showed her as much, I think. So it's hard to know where we'd go with her. I do think this episode is a good follow-up to like I guess Sadie's two aspects of her are her insecurities and the singing and all of that stuff, and then also her feelings for Lars. The problem is that like one of the two main aspects of her like relates to Lars, and she's always on screen with Lars, and like it's also in context of other teen girl characters and how they all only relate to their romantic feelings. It doesn't come across great at times, I would say. So that it's, you know, I don't know. This isn't just this episode's problem. This is the larger show problem. I'm a little bit unsure why we're continually so interested in Lars and Sadie. This episode, I think it's worth revisiting in a little bit whether this is a Lars Sadie finale. I don't know. I mean, I guess the Lars stuff is ambiguous. So so I guess that's not resolved, but this feels like a resolution to Sadie's character. Like, I actually think if we didn't see Sadie again, that this would make sense. I mean, I'm not necessarily predicting that or anything, but like we like Sadie had like two things, right? It's the insecurities, which we talk, she's getting better at that as we see here, and she's her feelings for Lars, and they're dating now. So like, you know, is there more stuff to be seen with Sadie? I'm not so sure.
I am, but we can't talk about it yet.
Okay. At least
I really like Sadie, for the record.
Just, I love Sadie. I think she's a great character.
Cheryl just doesn't know what to do with her.
Yeah, Sadie always has been one of my favorites. You know, I loved her hair, and I don't think the show is as interested in exploring this, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's get into the specifics from the episode here. We had, so, I don't know, what's the main thing this episode? This potluck? This is the lamest potluck ever, I would say.
I don't know, it's more like a potluck, like, hang. It's not like, it's like, hey, let's all just bring some
It's not even a potluck. No one made anything but Lars.
Yeah. Pretty annoying.
It's like when you it's like bring your own snack. Like, it wasn't even like...
Yeah. I generally, Buck comes off like across well on the show. I actually think he didn't come across well here because he's like, oh, it's this, we're having a potluck, it's this big thing, and then it's just like them like sitting at their house, like, what's?
They're the only teenagers in Beach City.
I don't know. It was interesting. I really liked the beginning of this episode with the Lars's pumpkin bread that looks like a pumpkin.
Yes.
And then Sadie's being excited about it, and Steven also being excited about it, and like getting into Lars, like Lars likes to bake. Really enjoyed the beginning of this. Sam, would you eat Lars's pumpkin bread pumpkin?
So pumpkin, like, okay. We have explored my relationship to the taste of pumpkin like 20 or so podcasts ago. Basically, anytime I eat it, I feel like I'm allergic to it, but I'm not.
Okay.
So
there you go.
maybe not. I don't know. I like cream cheese and I like
Good.
stuff like that. So I'd eat it, but I wouldn't like eat all of it.
Steven,
that would be greedy.
Did Steven eat all of it? I don't remember.
Probably not.
Well, we also have,
he just had a piece.
That's food item number 1. Food item number 2 is Lars's purple cake. Thoughts on that, Delaney?
It's cool. It's made out of sweet potato though, so I'm really confused.
Describe this cake. It's sweet potato, which like.
Well, he said it's ube, so it's ube, and like he said it's this yam.
Yeah.
Which one? Like I don't understand why they're like it's a sweet potato, it's a yam. Like that's the same thing. I don't understand why they're like.
No, they were aware of that. Yeah, they
were just weird.
Who didn't know what a sweet potato was? Steven? Like, okay, come on.
Yeah. Here's some potatoes.
Hot take, Cold Foods. Sweet potatoes. I've literally never had them, so I've
They're
no
terrible.
clue what they taste like.
You're like Steven.
Swiss cake rolls, which is basically what this purple cake looks like.
Correct.
Swiss cake rolls give me heartburn, and even though I like to eat them, I can't.
Yeah, no, it's tragic.
The purple cake looked great.
It's like a log. It's like a sweet potato log. It's kind of like, I don't know, I thought it was weird. Also, like, I don't understand why it's purple, but...
Occasionally, I think
because it's fun.
So Steven didn't know what a sweet potato was. I think the show does this sometimes, and it's actually they play it off as a joke, but it's actually really sad. It's like someone brings up some sort of food that's not like really like terrible for you, and Steven just doesn't understand. I feel like Steven just is fed awful food his entire life.
I don't think he knows what a carrot is.
Right? Like he.
They lampshaded that in the last episode, Dugout.
Did they?
Yeah, like Mr. Maheshwan was like, wow, you're eating this garbage before dinner. And Steven was like, fry bits aren't garbage.
Yeah, I think it's actually really sad. Steven really should be like...
He eats pizza.
The crystal gems are, we love them. I think there's an argument to be made that they are not optimal guardians for Steven.
Obviously not. I think there's this whole show evidence.
and neither is, regardless of him almost getting killed and stuff like that, and I think potentially Greg also, it's just kind of sad Steven just doesn't even understand what healthy food is.
Like Greg,
do you think Michelle Obama needs to make a cameo and teach
we need Michelle
Steven
Obama.
What do you call it? The dangers of childhood obesity.
Yes, this is
also we haven't even been to like a grocery store.
this is true. Where do they get?
Maybe
food?
they just have like convenience stores everywhere, and like that's all they got.
Like Connie, take this boy to the grocery store and buy him some vegetables.
You think Steven would have eaten healthy at Connie's house? It's like, let's have dinner at Connie's house, and wasn't that the plot of that season 1 episode? I don't even know.
Let's have dinner with Connie's parents at least.
But it wasn't at their house though. It was like on the beach.
And then Connie, and then like whoever cooks makes Steven some like healthy food, and he's like,
he's like, what's a salad?
Yeah, that's my what's a salad? That's my proposal for the next Bordy episode. Okay.
What's a salad? We learn with Michelle Obama.
Yeah, with cameo by Michelle Obama. Who would she play?
Herself.
She would have to be herself. Like...
No, but we had a discussion last podcast whether this was even the United States. So does it even?
Well, she could still exist.
Okay, she could just not be. She could just be a person. Okay.
Yeah, she didn't have to be the first lady.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. So...
No, I think I'd really love we figured out it's the United States, and it's like, oh my God, First Lady Michelle Obama. That would be so good.
It's the United States with a perpetual Obama presidency. That's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But Lars, so I like all the baking stuff with Lars, but Lars is like, baking's lame. And then he says, or they think it's lad. And then we have the line of the episode. There's 2 incredible lines this episode. One of I already referenced this, which is Lars saying, if I show up with a cake and Sadie, everyone's going to know I love baking and everyone's going to know I love Sadie. He didn't say Sadie, but yeah, it's
good.
It was
great.
implied.
Yeah. The blushing and, that was so good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Quality.
Hashtag Lars. What's their ship name? I forget.
Do they have one?
Not that.
Steven Universe has weird ship names. But yeah,
I was about to say something that wasn't like.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you know what I was about to say.
No, I don't. Lars, Sadie. It's the ship.
Stars.
It's happening. Yeah, and when the other line of the episode, when did you get so mature? And Steven says, somewhere in between learning to summon my shield and learning my mom is a war criminal.
So the whole series.
Ouch. The whole series.
Ouch, yeah. Funny line, also setting up well for us getting more into the Steven's mom arc and reminding us that this is still a thing. So I like that. Yeah. Steven looking for Lars after they're at the party and stuff. And he like floats above the entire town, and second episode in a row using Steven's powers. And
he starts yelling for Lars.
Yeah. That not
then
effective.
He's like, wow, if there's only a way to contact him.
Yeah,
he's like,
third line of the episode. So only some way to contact him with my mind. Oh wait, or with my phone, says Steven.
That was really good.
Yeah. Why didn't he just hop into his mind? No, that's my question. Like,
yeah, I mean, didn't he do that before?
Yeah, body swap, and then you could figure out where he is. Like, let's. So we had a whole podcast on Steven's mental powers and how these are very powerful. And nope, not explored here.
But at least he didn't like violate Lars again.
I guess that's true. I mean, I feel like this Lars would have liked. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's ignore that spoilers. But yeah, it's or with the phone. I always like referencing the show like not using technology. Like Steven, yeah, like you have a phone. This should come into play more. Yes. Also, why doesn't Steven have a better phone? That phone looks not great still.
Do they have? Well, now they do have money. He should have a better phone.
Oh yeah, Greg has. Did Greg have to give his money back? I don't remember what happened with that.
I don't know, but okay.
No, they've been spending it.
Yeah, right. I think so.
I mean, personally, I still had like a slide phone up until 2015. So let's just live our lives.
Okay, live our lives. And then we talked about Sadie singing and Sadie being sad about Lars not coming. Yeah.
Also, one more thing.
Yes.
So, when Steven and Sadie are walking, they go separate ways. You should always walk your friend home.
I agree.
Whose responsibility is it to walk who home?
It would be, I would say, Steven should walk Sadie home, since Steven is the one with the magic powers.
Yeah, if you're a super-powered, half alien and you have weapons, it's your responsibility to walk your weaker human buds home. I think that just makes sense.
Yeah, the superhero responsibility code. Yeah, Steven is a child, but yeah, he also has a giant shield, so that he's very safe to Steven going out at night.
Also, he has like a bubble. He could
also just literally the same size as Sadie. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
We don't need to get into heights of people in this show.
Oh, we're gonna get into it.
Oh, okay. Soon, okay. What did I miss from here? What do we think of the cool kids and Buck and their potluck? We talked about that, but
I liked what they were talking about, like when he's like Lars thinks like oh yeah, they're cool, but like they're not cool the way Lars thinks they are. Like they're just like cool people, which I think that's something I just really like about like Buck and Sour Cream and them. Like it's just so fun. Like they're so stupid. Oh wait, no, the actual best line of the episode is when Buck is talking about, yeah, Lars did like this thing when he was like bingo bongo, and he was like, yeah, it was like transcendent, and I was like, I'm done. Like I'm done with the show.
He was transcendent, yeah, and he was
I was done. Like I was like,
bingo bongo is not transcendent.
Yeah, how did we not discuss? I forgot to talk. It's on the outline. Bingo bongo. Best. Yeah, I love bingo bongo.
I actually said bingo bongo after I watched the episode. It's going to become a thing now.
I think it's already a thing, by the way.
Probably. I thought I was making up Nito Burrito, but apparently that's already a thing, and I had no idea what it was. I didn't know. I had no idea.
It's like an Attack the Light.
I have no idea what that is.
He says that's the app game they got.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Nito Burrito.
Oh, yeah. Sounds annoying saying that all the time.
It's very annoying.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I love Lars saying bingo bongo. It's great. Yeah, more. We need to resolve this Lars. Was it intentional? Is he missing? What's going on?
Why would he waste a perfectly good cake?
Yeah, why would he waste the cake? I'm surprised Steven didn't take the cake out.
Yeah,
that's just actually a good cake. Is ube a real thing? Like,
yeah.
Is it purple?
Yeah.
Is it purple?
Yeah.
Do Swiss cake rolls give you heartburn?
I'm gonna look for ube the next time I go to Jungle Gyms. I gotta find out.
Jungle Gyms.
Yeah.
That's the name of a theme park near Funland, actually. There's a place called Jungle Gyms.
Well, it's actually here. Well, not here in Cincinnati. It's this insane grocery store. It's like an amusement park, but it's a grocery store, and it's ridiculous.
Interesting.
I think
they
the
have
grocery store is an amusement park for adults.
Like, this place is ridiculous.
Sad.
I can't even describe Jungle Gyms to you. But
My life is very sad, Dylan.
they have things from like all over the world.
Such a sad observation, Sam. Yeah, but
the highlight of my week is when I go to the grocery store. So
I mean, same though. I like getting food.
okay,
Yeah.
Interesting. So we already had our food takes. Yeah, overall on the episode, Delaney.
I did really like the episode. And like I liked it a lot more until we got to the end. And then I like have mixed feelings because of later events.
Even without resolution, it's like, why are we doing this again with like Lars not showing up?
Yeah, no, that's the
I thought
thing.
we're
Like,
past this. Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's kind of just like it just kind of like
It's annoying.
obviously it was left hanging, but it was left hanging in a way that's just not satisfying. And like this mystery, like, is just like it's interesting and like, but it's also like I don't know. In this episode, it just felt weird.
Yeah, I agree with that. Overall thoughts, Sam.
like I said, I liked it more than the other Lars episodes. I still thought it was fine. I thought it was better with the plot stuff injected into it. I don't know. It was good.
Yeah, good.
I
Lars.
too like to bake.
Good,
but I'm not very
Lars,
good at it.
I enjoyed this. Good episode. 2 good character 4D focused episodes in a row, so I approve. Well, yeah, we'll get into the finale, question mark. Not clear if this is the finale. Who knows? It's number-wise, this should be the season 4 finale. Tomorrow's 2 episodes, but we'll see. And, yeah, so we'll get into those. Stay with us tomorrow. Check out overlyanimated.com for all of our Steven Universe coverage. And consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Lily, a.k.a. Panda Lily. And thanks as always to our patron executive producers, John, Ryan, Steve, and Alex. Yep, so we'll see you guys tomorrow for the big finale episodes. What are the shadows? What's going on? Gonna be good.
It's me. I'm the shadows.
It's me.
It's Sam and Delaney.
It's
Those are
me.
the shadows. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my
no.
god.
Well,
Cookie I wrote. Okay.
No. Yeah, that's what that was.
If
Thanks
you
for
want to
listening,
hire
guys.
me, I have a resume.
Yep. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.